Welcome back to the Spider-Man Homecoming Spoilercast. I'm Josiah. I've got Seth and Jimbo with me here, and Lindy Ruff running down the stairs. That's my dog for all of you that don't know that.
Down here.
Under the table, can't see him. Anyway, thank you for listening here on our iTunes and SoundCloud channel, as well as for the viewers on our YouTube stream video. Same thing, not really. Anyway, for the Homecoming review, wanted to reference Pete Hurd wrote it for the Geekiverse.com. You can go and read that. It is spoiler-free. So you can show your friends who have not seen the film yet. But a few pluses and minuses or pros and cons, I guess, better term for that. For positives, Tom Holland makes a great Peter Parker. Perfect? No, but really great. I think he's about as close to perfect as it gets.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
To get any more perfect, he'd have to literally be Peter Parker.
I'm curious what qualms he had that made it.
He was so
imperfect.
good. He was a teenager. I mean, he acted like a teenager. He sounded like a teenager.
He was a pretty perfect Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Yeah,
agreed.
He was a kid through and through. Like it was perfect. He had that youthful vibe. Mm-hmm. Michael Keaton is the next bullet point. I loved him as villain. In terms of MCU villains, I think he's actually one of the better ones we've gotten.
Definitely. Because it's him, it's Loki.
Oh,
it's,
I think he takes the cake.
Winter Soldier.
Don't tell Lauren.
I think Ego is quite good.
Yeah,
Ego was good.
The ones that are just
I loved Ego.
Humans.
Yeah,
or, I mean, just
he was a step up. But Vulture was. I don't know if he's absolutely top for me. I really liked what they did with Winter Soldier. But top three, I'd say.
I would say no question top three in my mind. I think that's a pretty good thing. Loki is my definite number one. We need to see more of Loki. And then, Winter Soldier's up there too.
Gosh, I thought he was awesome. He was so scary, and he's just a regular person.
He is such a good actor.
Gosh.
I look at Michael Keaton and Kurt Russell much in the same vein of seasoned, well-respected, awesome actors, and nailed their respective roles, and both of them shared something in common that I thought was unique, in that when they were in their human form or their non-costumed form, if you will, they were intense, threatening, and a little bit scary. Ego was so intimidating, knowing what he could do and how he did it, and the part, if you haven't seen Guardians, spoilers, but where he kind of just says that it was a shame that he had to put a tumor in Peter's mom, like that blew my mind. And then kind of with Michael Keaton, I think we can all agree that scene where Pete meets him at the house.
And the car ride over to...
one of the most intense scenes in all of MCU's films.
I think if Peter hadn't been so young... like if he was older, he would have not been. He wouldn't have given away.
He would have been maybe glaring back at him, but this Peter was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!"
Yeah, he's an adult. He's an authority figure,
right? Or maybe he wouldn't have been so obvious about it. I mean, it was very clear that he was super scared, like beyond regular scared of your girlfriend's father. Anyway.
I really, really liked Michael Keaton, and I was very thrilled when I knew that he was going to be in this I
was excited, because I heard earlier on in pre-production that he was in talks for it, and then the talks ended, and they fizzled out, and he wasn't going to do it, and we didn't know that it was the Vulture at the time, but then he got confirmed for it after all, so it seems like maybe he almost didn't play the Vulture, which I'm psyched that he did.
And I know it's not Marvel, but it is Disney. And I see almost a contrast there with hopefully what they're going to do a little bit with Woody Harrelson in the Han Solo movie. Like kind of that well-respected, seasoned actor. I assume he's going to play an intense role. He's supposed to be Han Solo's mentor, but there's probably something wrong with him. Like there's probably something that is a little bit sinister. And I just love what they're doing with that lately. And I think Marvel is kind of slowly solving its quote-unquote villain problem, if you will, where you've got the DC EU movies, and all their villains are really good for the most part. Like they're really DCU good. Has absolutely had consistently good villains. Yeah, where Marvel has more so focused on their heroes, and they've all been very good. And now I think they finally bridged the gap, if I could talk, and it's quite awesome to see play out.
Yeah. Hopefully that trajectory continues, because I think it's only very recently, because Doctor Strange I think was like the token bad Marvel villain. You get an incredible actor to play this role that is very forgettable and that doesn't have much of a thing and completely like I feel like I like Doctor Strange a lot, but the villain was like such Mads Mikkelsen. You bring him in there, it was so forgettable,
kind of wasted.
But I feel like so far this year what Marvel's done has been very solid villain wise. So
they've knocked it out of the park.
Hopefully they'll keep going.
Hopefully with Thor in the fall we see a little more of that, and I think we will.
Yeah. Kate Blanchett as Hela. That very good chance, and then you'll have Thanos coming. So
and then a little bit of a troublemaker with Goldblum.
Oh, certainly.
To put it nicely.
I don't know if he'll be the villain.
No.
He'll be an antagonist, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a good segue. So Pete also wrote in his prose a really nice story about a kid growing up in an impossible situation, which leads me to believe kind of he's referencing a little bit Iron Man here. I adored Robert Downey Jr. in this movie. I loved him as the father figure, almost like Peter was the son that he never had and wanted to have, and he embraced the role. Because you would think that he would be the last guy in the world to want to have a son or really have anything to care about. I feel like he'd be kind of like don't talk to me. But here it was like awesome, and the father figure role that he took on, and kind of the tough love lessons that he taught him, and the constant, I guess, not so much demeaning, but the lesson teaching that he would have to give Peter, I loved. And this was a new side of Iron Man that we have not seen before in the MCU.
Yeah, it was the first time that, because he has been growing throughout all these movies, and this is the first time that he's been taking on more responsibility here and there, but this is the first time where it really felt like he was a senior member of a seasoned, kind of an elder of the kind of Avengers team, and and just seeing how kind of like interesting parallels a little bit with what he did and what Peter's doing. I feel like the very final shot of both this movie and the first Iron Man movie were really neat parallels, with Iron Man saying "I am Iron Man" and it cutting to credits, and with this with like Peter Parker having like this teenage awkward like dichotomous version of it where like he accidentally he's looking very like triumphantly, but then Aunt May's behind him and she sees him, and his secret identity is spoiled that way. I feel like it's kind of like so a funny parallel.
And he had the chance to tell everyone.
Yeah. Not
not.
much like the end scene of Iron Man 1. Also kind of like the Civil War comic as well, the way when Superman joins Iron Man's side and he reveals his identity in a press conference like that. Yeah. Great to see Pepper Potts back as well.
Do you mean Spider-Man? Or you said Superman?
Did I say Superman?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I was wondering about that. It's like, did I miss something?
Me too. I was like, what? There was a crossover.
I thought I read that.
I had not considered that parallel where Iron Man reveals himself, which is not necessarily an unnoble thing to do in that situation. I don't think he looks to do that for the fame, but it's awesome that his kind of son figure denies wanting to do that, and he wants to not have the spotlight, which he kind of wanted. He wanted to be an Avenger. He wants to be an Avenger. He wants people to know that he's working with Tony Stark the whole movie. And then he gets home towards the end and says, I just want to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is
totally
great.
awesome.
Great. I'm very glad for that. Yeah.
I love how that came about, too. When Tony was initially saying it on the phone, just like offhand, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They couldn't have pulled that off any better.
And so that new suit that they show off that Peter doesn't take at the end was a really cool looking advanced Spider-Man suit that maybe we'll see him wear in Avengers Infinity War.
I assume so.
Yeah, because he might be in space, because people will be in space in that movie.
I mean, that's got to be his next appearance, I would assume.
Yes,
right?
That's next year.
Yeah.
Yep, that's unless he's in an after-credits scene in Thor or something, or Black Panther.
What do we have next? We have Thor, and then we have Avengers, right? I don't think there's anything.
Black Panther might be next, and then Avengers Infinity War.
Okay, I didn't remember where that stacked up in the timeline. I don't remember,
but just I'm assuming based on the fact that Black Panther has a trailer and Avengers Infinity War
it would make sense.
is still shooting, that Black Panther's coming out first. Yeah.
By the way, research assistant might find out.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
My gosh, that trailer!
They just released a bunch of stills and everything for Black Panther as well.
I can't get enough of that.
That's looking great.
Black Panther will be released February 2018.
Okay. So that's going to start off next year. Really nice. Really nice. In the first half of next year, we get Black Panther, Avengers, Han Solo movie. Kind of nuts. Pete also mentions in his review is a con that John Watts and his writers took some liberties that as a longtime Spidey fan, he wasn't in love with. I don't really know what he could be referring to.
I'm thinking some of the changes they made to, let's see, a younger Aunt May, Uncle Ben not being as central to the plot. What else could he mean by that?
MJ being...
yeah.
I didn't care for that, but I mean, whatever.
I think that's fine. I mean, if we still don't know that Michelle, the Zendaya character, Zendaya, that she is Mary Jane. We don't know if there is a Mary Jane in this universe or not, but if she is the love interest, I say...
Yeah, it was weird that his love interest was named Liz. It was like, what? And then they kind of flipped it where she just moves away. They don't even kiss. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Liz Allen was like an early love interest for him in the comics before like Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane or anything. Mm-hmm. I thought Zendaya for the brief amount of time she was in the movie, I thought she was fantastic. There was a couple, we can touch on this later, but there were a couple of John Hughes characters that she was really channeling with that, and I would love to see her relationship with Peter develop. I thought there was going to be kind of a resolution between Michelle and Peter within this movie, but that's something they're saving for future movies, which is fine if they wanted to develop that and not rush it. Kind of nice that they held
off, honestly. I
like
it.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
I hate to be that guy, but we need to take a quick segment break. I know Seth just set up the camera for that. Oh, you got to go over there, Adam. Damn it.
Oh, man.
So, we'll have probably one more segment after this. As we teased for segment 2, and I apologize, we'll talk about Tom Holland a little bit, the John Hughes comparisons, and the rest of the cast. So, for everything on Spider-Man Homecoming, keep it locked right here to the Geekiverse. Thanks for listening.